All right, everybody, welcome back to Strike Three Fishing's weekly podcast. Tonight we're on a Tuesday night. My guest, Cory Weaver, had some things to do tomorrow night, so we're going to be on tonight on Tuesday. I'm going to try to keep him on Wednesdays if I can, but you guys get plenty of notice once we, figure out who's going to be on and all that good stuff. But let's let a few people get on here. We got Northeast Missouri angler Dennis. He's on. What's up, Dennis? So if you're on here and if you want to say hi, say hi. Let us know you're on here, and we're gonna have a little giveaway tonight. We're gonna give away a couple packages of Mama's Baits and some Ardent freshwater reel cleaning kit. So, there
What
you're back.
happened there?
I don't know. You went blank for a second, so looks like you're back. Fire Chief's on here. Hi guys from Iowa.
Lost you.
Can you hear me, Cory? I can see you okay. Can you hear me?
What happened here? I lost my sound.
Uh-oh, I can hear you fine. But you can't hear me then.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, I can't hear you anymore.
Well, I'm not too tech savvy.
Shows the mic's on.
Tell you what, let me remove you and then try to get back in. You want to try that?
So let
Or
me
not?
try leaving and coming right back. See if the volume will come back.
Test, test. Cory's having some issues with the sound, so he's going to try to get back on here. Here in a second, that'll give us a little time for people to get on here. Looks like we got 8 on now. We got Northeast Missouri angler Dennis. We got Fire Chief from Iowa. Glad to have him. Let me get him back on here. How's that, Cory?
I'm good now. I'm not sure what I did.
Huh. Well, I had to, restart my computer before we got on here. So
Deal.
technology's good when it runs, but
There you go.
when it screws up, it's not very good here. We got Mike Christman here. What's up, Mike? He says, "What's up, guys?" So we'll give a few seconds to let people get on. But in case you're just joining us, I got Cory Weaver with JB's Fish Sauce on here tonight, and we're just going to touch base on the, all about JB's Fish Sauce if you haven't heard of it, and check out. We're going to talk to him about the B.A.S.S. Opens that he fishes as a co-angler. We'll get that kind of perspective from him. So I'll be a fun hour or so. Jimmy Corner's on. What's up, Jimmy? The Cosmic Chicken. And away we go, he says. Fire Chief says you're going to be in Rock Island this weekend. I'm actually not going to be there this weekend, unfortunately. Had some stuff come up, but it's going to be a good show. He's talking about the Rock Island Sports Show, I think they call it, something like that. I'm usually there with Thumper Jigs with Van and Pam, but had some things come up. I'm not going to be able to make it this weekend, but unfortunately, but still stop by and see Van and Pam in the Thumper Jigs booth. I think Mark Hatcher's going to be there and everything. So
Deal.
looks like we got a snowstorm coming in Thursday up around this area. How about you, Cory? What's it look like up there? I mean, you're in
Yeah.
Iowa, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm in Iowa, central Iowa.
Excuse me.
We haven't had any snow recently. We got plenty of it early on. We still got a little bit left on the ground, but we got plenty of ice. I mean, here in Central Iowa, we're still anywhere from 9 to 14 inches of ice. And as much as I love ice fishing, I'm ready for it to go.
Right. I hear you. I hear you. Yeah, we're supposed to get. I don't know. I saw on the news earlier. We just got all that 8 to 10 inches of snow melted this week, and in the Thursday we've got anywhere from like 6 to 8 or something, some more like that coming. Might have a little ice, so that's not going to be good. But
Mm.
I'll be
Well,
a fun couple days anyway.
yeah, well, it's that time of year.
Yeah,
Good is warm weather. Spring's coming.
yeah,
We're
it is.
closer to spring now, so
Yeah, I'll take this snow in February versus November or December. So
yeah.
anyway, so tell me a little bit about JB's fish sauce, how you got started with it, and I know you got a co-owner that helps you out with it. So if you want to talk a little bit about the sauce and
Yeah,
pay people better.
so about uh, almost 3 years ago now, me, my partners Clayton Godfrey and Kendra Foster, um, acquired JB's Fish Sauce from the original owner, Jim Block, hence JB's the name. He was the original owner, had it running for about 7 to 8 years, I believe, before we acquired. And basically, how it came about was my partners also own a soft plastic bait company called Fishing Assaults. And I had been working with them and doing a little bit of staffing with them on their plastics company, and they use JB's fish sauce worm oils in their plastics, and had gotten to know Jim. And when Jim decided he was considering selling, had reached out to him, and we all got together and decided this was something we wanted to pursue, and got together and made it happen, and took over the ownership and have been steadily growing it ever since. We've added a lot of new scent profiles on top of the great stuff that he already had going, and just continuing to grow and trying to make the big steps, getting out there as many shops as we can across the country and getting in front of as many people's eyes as we can.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I know it's around here at Mark Twain Lake, about all over. I think we got South Fork Resort, we got the Hunting Corner.
Yep.
Uh, is it in the Hobby Hut or not?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay. I know Vince is usually pretty good about picking stuff like that up. So,
Yeah.
But I know the Hunting Corner really sells a lot of it, and I know they got the spray and they got the gel as well.
Yep. Great shop. I've
Yeah,
visited there personally. I was just there just a couple months ago or a month ago, something like that, on my little crappie trip that I took around
yeah,
the States there. Took my son on. We went and had a lot of fun. It was his first experience going on a week-long road trip with me and kind of seeing what life on the road is all about, and that the fishing's awesome, but life on the road's not all that glamorous.
no, it can get pretty old pretty quick, but
Yeah, had a lot of fun, caught a lot of fish, and it was great to stop in some of those shops along the way and meet everybody in person, and a lot of good stuff took place that week.
oh, absolutely. I know I've seen the videos and stuff. You was out on the water, here at Mark Twain with Kenny
Yes.
Wilkinson, one of the crappie guides here, and then you was at Truman Lake and on what other lakes did you go to around here? Was
So we started at Truman and went to Mark Twain, then went down to Reelfoot for a couple days. And then we were on our way to Kentucky, but my son had a school activity that came up at the last minute, so we had to cut it a couple days short and head back home.
right?
Unfortunately, I can only make Mama mad so many times a year, and fun trip wasn't worth it. So we headed back home and got him back to his responsibilities.
Yeah, well, that's got to be done sometimes. So,
Yeah.
it looked like you guys caught some nice fish on your road trip.
Oh, we did.
Um,
We had an absolute blast, and I enjoyed that. I actually let my son do most of the fishing just because I can go do this stuff pretty much anytime I want. He doesn't get to do it as often with me between school activities and everything else he has going on as a teenager. Um, so most of the time, I just sat back and let him run the show, and I ran the camera and had a lot of fun. And I had to go up and show him a few times that the old man still knows how to do it. But
oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
but
exactly.
we had a really good time. It was a lot of fun. Um, if you guys haven't done that out there before, great way to take kids and get kids interested. Visit a local guide, and it's a great way to get kids hooked on fishing and um, eliminate a lot of the work and the hard process of going through finding fish, learning how to fish. Get with a good guide. All three of those guys we went with are an absolute blast, and I know you're getting into it now. It's a great way to get kids hooked and get them started to have a good time.
Oh yeah, yeah. I got a couple grandkids now, but I got one that's about 7. I think I'm gonna break him out this spring when they get on the bank a little bit and
There you go.
the court go down, get him hooked a little bit. So I'm
It's
looking forward to that. But so I know you got a lot of JB's fish sauce out there, flavor or flavor wise.
mm-hmm.
Can you elaborate on I'm on a few of the flavors you have.
Absolutely. I'll go over some of our most popular ones and pretty much most of them. So, um, the five basics that it started with are your bait fish, or some people want to call it shad or whatnot. You got your standard bait fish, um, coffee scent, crawfish, garlic, anise. Those are your five basic standard scents. And then Black Magic has been the number one seller since the original owner came out with it years ago. It's a special blend of all five formulas mixed together in
Oh,
a
okay.
different variation, different forms. But it's all five mixed together in a special blend, and it. I haven't found a fish species yet that doesn't like it.
Right.
It's really been our number one seller, um, especially in the bass world. The walleye world has really picked up on it, and the panfish too. I'm using it ice fishing, catching my crappies and stuff. Wipers. Then when we get into our panfish profiles, we came out with, I think the first one came out with was Perch Juice, which is we wanted to target lakes that had a lot of freshwater shrimp and bugs and invertebrates and stuff like that.
Right.
Because there's certain times of year those fish will get off the minnows and the shad, and when them bugs start coming up out of the bottom, especially like out in the Dakotas, jumbo perch, and down south, a lot of the crappie waters, there's a lot of bugs, and a lot. It's a big part of their diet. We wanted to do something to capture that, and so we came out with the perch juice, and it's gone off very, very well. And then 2 years ago now, I hooked up with Kyler Beckman. Had already been working with Jim Block, the original owner, and I got to know Kyler really well, become friends with him, done a ton of fishing with him, and he reached out to me to see if we could come up with a waxworm scent.
Yeah.
Because not sure if a lot of people are aware, but there's been a couple of really big tournaments won on waxworms in the crappie industry, and he really wanted to see if we could capture something with that. So it took me about 6 months of trial and error and doing a lot of experimenting and working with Kyler and a lot of testing, and we finally hit the perfect formula, and it's just absolutely gone gangbusters ever since we released it.
And it works big time. So
Yeah,
one of my favorites.
it's especially now. The great thing now with technology that we have in the live scopes, forward-facing sonar, you can actually see the fish's behavior, and you can tell when fish are interested, but they're not quite willing to commit or bite. And put a quick application on, and all of a sudden now that fish is choking it all the way down.
Oh
Um,
yeah. Yep.
but so the waxworm went off great, and then I decided to do something similar to the black magic with the panfish formula. I came out with what's called Fantastic. Here's a look at our jelly
Yep.
jar. This one's called Fantastic, and it's a special blend of the bait fish, the perch juice, and the waxworm all
Oh wow.
mixed together in a special formula. And it's now starting to explode big time,
Right.
especially down south. Got quite a few guys down in Mississippi, southern Missouri, Oklahoma, those areas. Those guys have absolutely been going crazy over both the waxworm and the Fantastic.
Right. I know the hunting corner, I think, has the Fantastic in stock, I
Yeah,
believe.
and they just got fully restocked here
Yep.
in the last couple of weeks. So if you're in
Yep.
that area and looking for some, great shop. They got a lot of inventory in there now, and
Mhm.
they'll get you taken care of.
Yeah. I know I bought some spray for bass fishing, the
Yep.
uh, uh, garlic and the black magic.
Yep. And then another formula for the bass side. We also work with another YouTuber, Tyler Waller, on another line fishing. He's another one of our pro staff. He approached me about coming up with a special blend of garlic and crawfish mix, which has always been real big in
Yeah.
the bass industry. So we created a signature series for him called Pinch of Garlic.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
um, what I feel like is the perfect blend of crawfish and garlic together, and it's going over really well. A lot of old school guys, that's all they grew up using was crawfish and garlic, and
Right.
so we were able to capture that, and that's going over really well.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's what I bought over there at the hunting corner a while
Okay.
back. So I'm
And
looking forward to putting
walleye
it
guys
on.
out there, to my surprise, in the last month, I've had more walleye guys sending me pictures using the pinch of garlic up in
Really?
up in Wisconsin and Minnesota. I wouldn't have guessed it. I probably wouldn't even have tried it myself. I used the black magic on walleye, so it makes sense to me
Yeah.
now. But I wouldn't have originally tried it myself. But for whatever reason, I know crawfish are a part of a walleye's diet, but yeah, I've had a lot of feedback lately from the walleye guys up north using the pinch of garlic. So
Wow. That's awesome. That's awesome. So, I mean, you pretty much got most of the species covered.
yes,
So,
absolutely.
I know Kenny Wilkinson introduced it to me, I don't know, 2 or 3 years ago,
Hmm.
over crappie fishing when he was showing me live scope before I had live scope. And it's like, what I like about it, you can, put an application on a plastic and use it, 7 or 8, 9 fish and then reapply it. It's not like a crappie nibble or something where you got to, they fall off all the time and it's
Right.
just got to be a pain. But I mean,
Got a mess all over your carpet, and
yeah. So this thing,
uh,
this stuff here is awesome. Just
yeah,
dip your jig in it and your skirt or whatever, and go to town on the crappie.
absolutely.
You know, like I said, you don't have yellow, all that nibbles all over your carpet and everything. So,
I hear you.
if you
Yep.
guys tuning in, got any questions for Cory or myself, just get on here and ask. We'll be glad to answer. Jim Coiner says, bring that stuff down to Bullseye. You know where Bullseye Tackle is?
I don't, but I'll look it up and
Yeah, I
get.
believe it's in O'Fallon, Missouri,
Okay.
suburb of St. Louis there. But
Yep.
He's I think Mark's the guy that owns it. If I remember right, he's a real good guy. But
Good stuff.
Jim, Jimmy goes there all the time. He's a buddy of mine. He bass fishes a lot here on Mark Twain. So
There you go.
I know we got Thumper Jigs going to go in there probably after this next show. We're going to put Thumper Jigs in Bullseye, so that's something to look forward to there. So uh,
Awesome.
anybody's got any questions? We got Cory Weaver from JB's Fish Sauce. He also fishes the B.A.S.S Opens as a co-angler. And so if you
Yep.
guys got any questions about that, he's going to talk about that here in a second and give us the insight on that. We got Phil just joined us. He says, Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday, Phil. So, anyway, is Mark Twain ice free yet? Most of it is. I haven't checked the ramps since the snow got off, but I don't know about the actual ramps. But
Usually it's the ramp you got to worry about most.
yeah, exactly. And I mean, I know I drive over the dam about every day, and it's all open.
Yeah.
So I'm sure it's going to be open. Probably by tomorrow with all that rain and stuff. The warm rain, but it might freeze back up again because we're supposed to get some ice and snow on Thursday. So,
Yeah.
but, DJ Walker says, check out Tombstone Tackle in Columbia, Missouri. I've been there. It's a nice tackle shop. If you're ever interested in getting it down there, Adam's the guy's name down there at Tombstone. Uh, it's a really, really, really good shop. Got a lot of good stuff in that shop there. So thanks for the heads up, DJ
Absolutely.
Walker. So
Yeah, and anytime anybody out there, if you got a local shop that you enjoy and visit, and any ideas on shops, we're always willing to reach out to new people, new shops, and we'll try to get our products as close to you as we can. Uh,
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, because once you use this JB's fish sauce, I'm telling you, that's about that's about the only scent you're going to use. I mean, I use it a lot crappie fishing. I'm going to start using it bass fishing, and I can't wait.
yeah,
So
and we got a we got quite the pro staff. We got quite a few guys out there. Um, got two of our crappie guys getting ready to go compete in the American Crappie Trail this week, get their season kicked off. Um, in the Bass Opens, Chris Bougerie Outdoors, one of our biggest bass guys. We got Jay Wallen in the kayak fishing leagues.
wow,
Excellent, excellent fisherman. Um, so yeah, we got we got quite a good staff and
yeah,
steadily growing out there.
absolutely. Is there Buckshot ask? Is there any big box stores in the future, like a Walmart or something like that?
Our biggest store we're in right now is Sportsman's Warehouse. We're in
Okay,
approximately, I don't remember how many total locations we're in now. We've been in the works with them, trying to expand to all their stores. Um, we'll see where that goes. I know there was some back and forth going on with them. Bass Pro almost bought them out, and then that deal fizzled away. Not sure what's going on there, but
right.
Sportsman's Warehouse is still Sportsman's Warehouse, and so yeah, that's probably our biggest store right now. Otherwise, you can find us on our website, www.jbsfishsauce.com, and uh, you can find us if you just Google us. We're on there; it'll pull us up.
Yeah, you can get this. There's the website right there, isn't it? jbsfishsauce.com.
Yep.
So, you
Thank you.
guys,
Yep.
obviously people can order right on the website,
Yep.
all that good stuff. So, check that out.
Yeah, like I said before, any shops or ideas you got out there, we're always interested in looking out to the shops and getting out into more places. Makes it more convenient for customers. You don't have to worry about waiting on shipping. You can get it right there at your local shop and go. So it's a
Yeah.
great partnership. We love working with all the shops. We're in a lot of small mom and pop shops, and we're in a lot of bigger shops as well. So
Yeah. So there you go, everybody. You got, if you got a shop around your neck of the woods, if you're watching tonight and you're interested, message me or get a hold of Cory on Facebook. He's on Facebook.
yep,
Uh,
yep,
sure,
yep.
he wouldn't mind that.
Facebook,
So, you on Instagram or just
yep,
yeah,
Facebook, Instagram, both myself personally and the company. So there's a lot
right,
of ways to get a hold of us.
right. Looks like Dennis from Northeast Missouri Angler. Speaking of the ice, I guess he's been over towards South Fork and Route U, and 107 was still white and thick looking. So
Yep.
I don't think they're obviously not all the way thawed out. Where you can get a boat in there yet. And he also says Ray Barons might be open midweek next week. So, and it is supposed to warm up, I believe, after this little cold snap and snow we're going to have.
Yeah.
So
Gonna be a while for me though.
yeah, I
Nine,
bet.
9 to 14 inches don't go away fast.
No, no. So where are you at up in Iowa?
So I'm just north of the Des Moines Metro.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Yeah.
There you go.
Just north of it.
Just north of it. I did a lot of umpiring in Des Moines, the old Iowa Cubs when I was in AAA. So,
Love going to the Iowa Cubs games.
yeah, I flew in and out of there several times and worked a lot of baseball games in Sec Taylor Field. We used
Awesome.
to go to the High Life Lounge after the game.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm curious. I just heard they got new ownership this year, so I'm curious to see if
Oh,
there's
really?
yeah, I'm curious to see if they're going to do any changes or if it's just going to be the same old thing just under new ownership. I don't know how that stuff works in AAA, so
Yeah.
it'll be interesting
Well,
to see what comes of that.
yeah. I guess the Cubs are going to stay there. I'm guessing.
Yeah, I'm sure there's contracts involved with all that stuff. I'm sure
Yeah. Yeah.
they got to keep it
Anymore.
what it is for at least a minimum number of years or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
So yeah, it was a fun little city to go to. You know,
yeah, it's
we stayed.
supported very well here. They're
Yeah, it was
getting
always a
every
packed,
games.
packed stadium, and then that High Life Lounge was kind of like the Cubby Bear in Chicago. Everybody went to there. Everybody went there after the game, so it was kind
Yeah,
of
there's 3 or 4 good options right there close by, so it's always a
yeah,
good time.
always good. So.
Yeah,
Then we got Gary Gersbinski here, buddy of mine. He's said he almost missed it. He was watching the Blues game. So glad you're joining us, Gary.
hockey
Oh, the
fan,
Blues. Oh yeah, he's a big hockey fan.
good
The
deal.
Blues winning. I know they beat the Blackhawks the other night. My buddy, we was over at his place Saturday night, and they're big hockey fans, and they had the game on. And Blues,
Yeah,
I think, beat the Blackhawks 4-1 or something like that. So,
it's been a rough couple of years for the Blackhawks.
Dennis from Northeast Angler wants to know with the growth in the catfish area that has happened over the last few years, do you have anything in the works for catfishing, such as dip,
Um, actually,
salt?
I'm working on a little bit of a secret project. Hoping to be able to release something this spring. But yes, we're working on a pretty cool catfish project.
Right. Well, good
Can't
deal.
a lot of details out, but yes, we are. I get that question a lot. We are working on a special little project. When I took on this project, I didn't want to. I don't want to get into the stink baits and all that stuff. That market's flooded, and it's just not something that I'm interested in. But we've been working on creating a pretty cool deal for the catfish industry because we've been hit a lot with requests for that. So
Yeah,
we
because
got
catfish is
work.
getting.
And surprisingly, I keep hammering on Black Magic, but I have a lot of Missouri guys that are catfishermen that order our Black Magic products. So,
Really?
little Cory out there, yeah.
There you
Um,
go, Dennis. You better get you some black magic,
but
buddy.
we do have a specialized project that we're working on just for it. Hoping to be able to release it this spring. We'll see. There's a lot that goes into it, and we like to make sure all the ducks are in a row before we do any releases or anything like that. So it's quite the process, but we're hoping to have something for you guys soon.
Sure. So there you go, everybody that likes to fish them catfish. There you go. So JB's Fish Sauce is working on some catfish scents as well, and all that good stuff. So I'm sure Dennis from Northeast Missouri Angler will be the first guy to buy it around here. I know he will. So he's a big catfisherman as well.
Good deal.
So
It looks like you guys were catching some pretty good crappie there the last few weeks before the ice came on, before it started getting really cold.
yeah, the crappie were
Uh,
really hammering. Yeah,
yeah,
it was a good time.
yep,
You know, I think Christmas Day is my last day I've been out on the lake. You know,
yep,
just stuff going on, but they were hammering pretty good. You know, and the big fish were hammering as well. You know, there were pound crappie. You know, anywhere from
yep.
11, 12 inch crappie. You know, they were
That's awesome.
hammering pretty good. So, and there's been some guys going. You know, between Christmas and now. You know, when the lake before it really froze, they were really catching them.
Yeah,
But I think a lot of guys now are going up towards Thomas Hill Reservoir. Have you ever fished that
I have not been
Power
there yet.
Plant Lake? And it's been producing some big crappie this winter. The
Yep,
last, when Mark Twain freezes up, we all usually try to head up there if we can. So
yep. That's a hot
check
water
it.
discharge.
Yeah,
Yep,
yep. I know
yep,
Kenny and Dennis from Northeast Missouri Angler. Dennis has got a video out that him and Kenny went up there a couple weeks ago, week and a half ago, and
yeah,
just put the hurting on them. And
yeah. I saw that one as well. That looked good.
yeah,
Yeah,
yep,
Kenny had mentioned that and told me I need to get back down there sometime and go check that place out with him.
yep, exactly.
It looked like fun. They had some good ones.
Yep, absolutely. I'm hopefully to get up. I'm hoping I can get up there one of these days.
Yeah,
Ever get time, but it's only about an hour and 20-minute drive from here, from my
yeah,
house here at the lake, so it's not a bad drive at all.
yeah.
You know,
That's the hardest part for me, being stuck up here in central Iowa. It's the traveling I do. It's absolutely crippling,
right? Exactly,
especially now
exactly.
gas cost doubling. It's just
Oh man,
unbelievable.
it's getting up there a little bit.
Yeah.
Let's see. Dennis says he was up there at Thomas Hill today and caught over 40 with the sauce. So
Awesome. Great to hear.
I'm sure he's got a video coming on that one. Can't wait to see that one. So I think he said he took his wife today too. So uh, Phil says back to the black magic you were speaking of. Difference than is that different than what you have on your site under gel, or is it the scent you were referring to?
The Black Magic is the name of the scent, so it's available in all the different applications that we have. Um, so for those that don't know, we have a ton of different applications that each scent is available in. We have our 1 ounce jellies. Um, we have bigger 4 ounce paste tubs. The paste, the jelly is kind of like, I don't know what the jelly is, a little bit softer of a compound, to where you can literally just wipe it on your baits or just dip your baits in it, kind of like the old smelly jelly days.
Yeah,
Similar
kind
to
of like
that.
the Carmex. You know that Carmex
Yeah.
lip stuff you can squirt out, maybe.
And then the paste is a much harder compound. So it's going to stick longer, but it releases slower.
Okay.
So that's something you need to think about, depending on what your needs are and what style of fishing you're doing. Paste is a harder compound. It lasts and stays on your baits longer, but it releases slower. It's not as intense. The jelly's kind of the perfect blend in between the paste and your mist sprays. You know, you spray your mist, that's going to release the fastest, and really get going, um, to those fish. But you're also going to have to apply it a little more often than you do the jelly or the paste.
Oh,
So depending on what style of fishing, what you're doing, the mood of the fish, a lot of variables in there. But we also have the 2 ounce gels, which are a squeeze bottle. We have some hard sticks, tube step applications, and deodorant style applications, which is also a harder compound. Not quite as hard as the wax, but very similar, or as the paste, not the wax. Very similar to the paste, but it's in a tube stick style application or a deodorant style application. Um, so yeah, there's a lot of different applications, but when we're speaking of black magic, that's just the name of the scent itself. All the scents are available in all different applications.
yeah. So there you go, Phil. Hope that answers your question. Uh, Speaking of traveling earlier, you do a little traveling starting now through the rest of the summer, don't you? Fishing
Yeah,
the B.A.S.S Opens.
yeah. So between the Bassmaster Opens and my Iowa Premier Bass Elite trail that I'm doing, give a little shout out to my guys there. I'm gonna be doing about 21,000 miles this year.
Wow.
Um, depending on and that depends on how much extra practice I end up deciding to do. But just on my standard, what I normally do, I'm gonna be traveling about 21,000 miles this year,
Right.
and that's not counting any open tournaments that I decide to jump into, and which I'll probably be doing. I want to get. My goal is to get down to the Ozark region more. There's a lot of high quality tournaments, as you know, that go on down
Yep.
there. Uh,
Absolutely.
and I really enjoy those lakes. Fits my style. A lot of quality fish. They're a lot of fun to fish. So uh, when I get openings in my schedule, I plan on making a lot more trips down there. And it's not too bad for me. Most of the lakes down there are about between 4 and 5 hour drive, so it's not terrible. Uh,
Right.
I
Well, I
can
know
get
we've got a solo pro coming up April 10th, I believe, down at Lake
yeah,
of the Ozarks. I don't know what your BASS open schedule's like, but that'd be a fun tournament to
yes.
get into.
Um, that's definitely one of the circuits I want to check out next year, depending on scheduling conflicts and whatnot. Uh,
Sure.
and then the American Crappie Trail actually came out with a new bass circuit this year.
Oh,
Um, that's going to be at Lake of the Ozarks and Truman, and I can't remember if they're throwing in um, Table Rock or not, but they came out with a new bass trail this year just for that region.
oh,
Something I'm
sweet.
interested in checking out because I know they run an awesome. I mean, they're the best crappie trail out there, in my opinion.
Right.
So I'm interested to see how well that goes over.
Absolutely. So you just got back from Kissimmee, right?
Yes,
So
Toho chain.
yeah. So tell everybody uh, you're a co-angler, correct?
Correct. I'm doing it as a co-angler. So I did 4 out of the 9 events last year. Just a little bit of my history, I guess I should go into
Yeah.
as a precursor. So I started tournament fishing when I was 16 years old, and I fished me and uh, my best friend back home. We grew up fishing together. I started out in a little club that had a boater, non-boater style format. So you got paired with a different boater at every tournament, and
Right.
you all competed against each other, which was kind of cool for a young high school kid or a young guy like I was at that time. You got to fish with a different guy every tournament, so you got to learn different techniques. Everybody kind of has their own little specialties that they like to do.
Right.
So for a young guy or someone doesn't even matter if you're young, someone new to bass fishing or tournament fishing, it's a great way to learn a lot of different skills and a lot of different techniques that you may not know about um, by fishing with someone different like that.
Sure.
But I did that for a year, and I'm a very type A personality. I like to be in control of my own destiny and control of my own decisions. So I went and bought my first boat right away while I was still in high school, getting ready to graduate high school. And um, I, I've been a boater ever since. I fished a ton. Every open money tournament you could find. I'm originally from Indiana, so I fished a lot in Indiana, northern Indiana, southern Indiana, Kentucky, Michigan. Northern Indiana and Michigan was my primary territory, but we'd venture down into Kentucky and stuff sometimes, and fished a lot of national circuits like the Angler's Choice, the Midwest Outdoors. Quite a few others. Fished the state federations for a while and all that stuff. And then I got to the age that started having kids and marriage and decided I needed to slow down and back away for a while. Tournament life is not very suitable for a quality family life
Right.
if you're not fortunate enough to be in a situation where your family can travel with you. Uh,
Right.
there's a lot of people that make it work well for them. Um, it wouldn't have worked well for us, so I had to make the tough decision. I stopped tournament fishing for about 9 years. And
Oh,
a
okay.
couple of years ago, my kids are older now, and the fire's still kind of burning, especially after partnering up with several companies and promoting products and then acquiring JB's fish sauce. Kind of got the fire burning again. So last year I went to the Bassmaster Opens, fished 4 out of the 9 events, won big bass at my first tournament, my very first tournament back.
Right.
Pickwick had a 613 hog down at Pickwick, and
Wow.
cash checks in 2 out of my 4 events, and finished 21st in the Angler of the Year, only fishing 4 out of the 9
Oh,
events.
wow. That's
Um,
awesome.
and there's kind of a little, it's not it's not huge, but there's a nice little prize. If you win Angler of the Year, you get there's 3 divisions in the Bassmaster Opens, the Eastern, the Central, and the Southern. If you win the Angler of the Year, you get free entry of your choice into one of the 3 divisions, either as a co-angler or a pro the next
Oh,
season.
oh
So
wow.
that's my goal. I decided I was going to fish all 9 this year because I think I'm more than capable of winning the Angler of the Year as a co-angler, and that's quite a bit of savings, and that's a nice little carrot there to
Oh yeah.
go
Absolutely. Here's
after
something to shoot for.
when you're trying to make that jump to the next level on the other side of the boat. You need all the
Right.
help you can get. So that's
Right.
my goal for this year. Um, and our first event this year was down at Kissimmee, Toho chain, and my wife decided to go along. I travel with a couple other guys, a couple other pros.
Okay.
Um, we all we rent houses and stuff to help uh, share some of the costs and make it more affordable because this life on the road gets very expensive very fast. And
It does.
so we group up and do a lot of traveling together and staying at houses and hotels together to help save some money. And we decided to take the wives along to this one since it was Florida and it's freezing everywhere we are. They decided they wanted to go along and made it a fun little trip. But unfortunately, we got to Florida and it was 28 degrees.
Yeah, I heard there was a cold front come through there.
It was 28 degrees the first day we got there. And the fishing went from tremendous just before we got there to very, very tough. Florida fish do
Right.
not like to be cold.
That's what I
So,
hear.
um, it turned out to be a very tough week. It was a great learning experience. It did finally get warm right at the tournament days, but we missed that magic window. The 4 to 5 days after we left were probably some prime days to be down there because it was
Wow.
finally starting to warm up. It was just starting to get good. Um, I I drew a gentleman out of Wisconsin the first day, and he had spent quite a bit of time down there. He had been down there a couple of weeks and had gotten on some great fish. And those cold fronts just threw everybody for a loop. I mean,
Yeah.
there was elite pros that were fishing it that were absolutely struggling. Um, all the pros were struggling. I mean, there's always guys that find them, that catch them.
Sure.
Happens
Yep.
every event, but for the most part, it was one of the toughest tournaments I've ever fished. Um, and I was fortunate to catch one the first day. Um, and then the second day, I had the pleasure of fishing with Maddie Wong,
Oh
who
yeah.
won the Bass Nation and
Yeah.
qualified for the
He's on
elites,
the. Yeah.
qualified for the Bassmaster Classic. He just
Yeah.
made his premiere this week on the
Yeah.
elites, and
He was in the top 10 for one. I know a day or so.
yeah,
He
he
was.
made it to Saturday. Um, so he had a great start to his elite career. Um, anyhow, awesome guy. Had a lot of fun with him. I was fortunate to catch a limit on day two, um, but unfortunately couldn't get that big bite that I needed to overcome that bad day one. I was less than 2 pounds out of the check, and I was less than 4 pounds out of the top 20. So two keepers, and I'm up there looking at a really nice check. Uh,
Right.
but if you haven't fished as a co-angler, it's a whole nother experience.
Yeah.
It
You're
takes
just
a
kind of at the mercy of the boater a little bit, aren't you?
yes, a little bit, but you also control yourself a little bit, and just how you adjust. You have to approach. This has been the toughest part for me is learning how to readjust my style of fishing. Fishing as a co-angler is completely different than fishing in front of the boat and being able to make your own decisions and fish your own water. Um,
Right.
so it takes a big adjustment. Um, the funniest thing, I don't know, actually, it's kind of sad to see is after every tournament, you see guys that are complaining, well, my pro wasn't on any fish, or my pro this, my pro that. And what you have to understand as a co angler when you're going to these events is you're really going for the learning experience and to have a good time. And their job isn't to entertain you and make sure you catch fish. If that's what you're wanting, you need to go hire a guide.
Yeah.
When you're going to fish as a co-angler, you're going for the learning experience, and you're going to be working your butt off behind them to find whatever you can catch. And
Right.
you're not going to have a lot of great opportunities. You just need to have that understanding and mindset before you even get there. They're not going to make sure you catch your fish every day. They're
Right.
there trying to make a living, trying to cash their checks and
Yep.
catch the five biggest fish they can.
Yep.
Um, I've had a great time with everybody I've ever been paired up with, and um, I'm learning a ton, and that's why I'm doing it is to prepare myself to be on that side in the next year or
Sure.
two.
Sure.
Um, but it's definitely a different mindset and a different approach to fishing, and
Yeah.
it's a big learning curve.
Yeah. So when's your next one?
We're going to Cherokee in Tennessee at the end of March, early April time frame.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
How do you
So
think that lake's going to set up that time of year?
it should be a lot of fun. If the weather cooperates, you should have a lot of options down there. And the smallmouth could be spawning already, depending on rains and whatnot. They got all three species there, like a lot of the Ozark region. They got smallmouth, largemouth, and spots. The two biggest players are going to be A lot of it depends on the weather, but sometimes the smallmouth absolutely dominate. Sometimes the largemouth do. It just kind of depends on the weather and the water clarity, and
Right.
but it should be a really good event. There's no giant fish in that system, but there's a lot of 3 pound fish in that system
Yeah.
and 3 to 4 pounders. So it'll be a fun event.
One event. So can now the co-anglers weigh in 5 fish as
Uh,
well, or
Not in
three?
the bass has gone down to 3 for the
Okay.
co-angler. Yep,
Okay. That's what I thought. I
yep,
wasn't for sure, but that's what I thought. So.
yep. And
That,
that's one of the biggest keys to being a co-angler. If you want some tips on if you're ever considering doing the co-angler side, anybody out there, finesse fishing and just catching 3 fish. It doesn't matter if they only weigh 4 or 5 pounds. If you catch 3 fish every day, you're probably going to cash a check.
right.
Uh,
Yeah, that's good. I mean, that'll go a long way.
right. You don't need to catch 3 4 pounders at most of these bodies of waters. I've gone back and studied the last 10 years of the Bassmaster Open co-anglers. If you catch 5.5 to 6 pounds a day, you're going to cash the check almost every tournament.
Right.
So,
Well, Dennis from Northeast Missouri Angler says, "How do you go about knowing what to do and not to do as a co-angler? Do you have a heart to heart with the pro before launch, or and
yeah.
you know, and
So
cast, etc."
yeah, so you get your pairings the night before and you call each other, kind of figure out where you're going to meet at, what time they want to be there. And the biggest advice I can give you guys is A, you don't ever want them to feel threatened or feel like you're in competition with them because that's not going to work well for you at all. Um, what I do at each tournament is I have a good conversation the night before, just ask them very vague questions, are we fishing deep, shallow, dirty water, clear water? And I don't even ask for details because um, I want them to be comfortable and don't want them to feel like I'm already trying to compete with them because you're not in competition with them.
Right.
So, and then I make my own game plan based on my own research or my own history on that body of water. And then first thing in the morning when I meet them for the first time, I'm handing them gas money as soon as I see them. Um, just to kind of cut the ice. It's expected you're supposed to give your boaters anywhere from $40 to $60 is kind of the proper etiquette.
Sure.
Um, you'll be amazed how many guys unfortunately stiff their pros and don't give them anything.
Yeah.
Um,
Shame.
but if you want to get on the good side of your boater and try to have the best day possible, first thing I do is I hand them a free product and gas money and let them know I'm going to be their biggest cheerleader that day. And I'm excited to be there to learn, to have fun, and
Yeah.
almost make it feel like I'm there to be a team with them. And we're going to have a lot of fun. And I
Yeah.
can't wait to go learn and watch them. And
Yeah. Yeah. Because
uh,
that'll go a long way.
yeah,
If they get their fish early, they might go somewhere where you can get your fish.
right. And I had that happen last year at Grand Lake, the last event. Um, I fished with Jay Shakurit from Wisconsin, who also qualified for the elites that day.
Oh
Um,
wow.
he secured his limit and was able to make a crucial call. And with about 25 minutes to go in the tournament, and I only had 2 fish and had a third one on right before that. Got it hung on a cable, and we were scrambling to get the boat back to it, and the hook tore out while it was dangling on the cable before we could get to it. And he was feeling really bad, but there was nothing anybody could do about it. It's just one of those things. You got to hook them before you worry about how to get them out.
Right.
So it's just one of those things. But he actually spent the last 25 minutes running me to very specific locations where he had found specific nice quality fish and let me fish for him.
Wow.
Even though he had an Elite Series berth on the line. So hats off to him. Kudos to
Absolutely.
him. I mean, I had an awesome day. I learned a ton from him. It was fun to be there for the excitement and knowing that he probably just clinched his berth to the elites that day.
Oh,
Um,
absolutely.
so, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they're all, I mean, most of them are going to work with you, if you're
right.
just, if you work with them and not be
Right.
like,
You
you
know, and
know,
there's etiquette. There's kind of a halfway line in the boat. You don't want to be casting up to the front of the boat in their space. If you're going down a narrow canal or in the back of a creek or a bay, you don't want to try to be sneaking on the other side of the boat and casting ahead of them where they haven't gotten to yet.
hmm
Um, there's some etiquettes that go along there that you really want to be careful of, and you don't ever want to make them feel like you're pushing them too hard or taking them out of their game. You know, ideally, you don't want them to ever even think or know that you're back there unless you catch a fish and back in your area. The best day for them is if they don't even know you're back there. I mean, you're going to have great conversations and whatnot, but
hmm
if they're hearing your bait plopping 5 feet away from where they're casting all day long, you're not going to have a good day.
right.
They will point that nose in and drop
Yeah.
the old
You'll be
power pole
backloaded.
down.
You'll
You're
be
gonna,
backloaded for sure.
yeah, you're gonna be looking at 60 feet of water while they're fishing all the prime stuff all day.
Yep.
Whereas you make them feel comfortable, you're gonna get your chances. You know, it's just being able to take advantage of the few chances that you do get.
Right. Yeah.
But if you get on the wrong side, they can make it bad for you real quick.
Absolutely. So Dennis says, so it's going to vary from pro to pro as to what's a no-no in their boat and what's okay. I mean, different guys have different ideas on things, obviously.
Yep.
So I mean, I know, a couple of my buddies on YouTube fish the co-angler side and the BFLs, and they always ask their boater if it's okay if they video, and some of them say yes, some of them say no. It just depends on, you know,
Yep.
how
And
the guy.
I'm going through that this year. I'm going to start trying to do a little bit of videos just to kind of share my experience as a co-angler so people can see
Sure.
what like that might be interested in it. I'm never
Absolutely.
I'm never going to be a full-time YouTube guru, but
Yeah.
I do want to share some of the experiences and let people see what it's like. I know I've had a lot of people that are interested in it but have never really done it and kind of on the fence about whether they want to do it or not. And
Yeah.
so I want to be
Yeah.
able to share some of that with them.
Absolutely. Yes. These, tournament videos on YouTube are, I mean, the everyday guy out there fishing the bass tournament, team tournament, or by himself. I mean, I think they're fun to watch, and you
Yeah.
kind of see how they
Yeah.
attack a body of water, and
Yep.
all that stuff.
And
So
that's the best part of being the co-angler is just, for me, I'd mentally go throughout the day of this is what I think I would be doing, or at different times of the day. In my mind, I'm thinking, okay, this is the adjustment I'd be making, or this is what I'd be trying. Why are they trying this, or why are they trying that? And just learn
right.
the thought process from someone else that has different ideas or different experience. Um, that stuff's priceless. That's worth more than any entry fee that you're going to pay because
Oh, absolutely.
most of these boys have been doing it for a very long time, and to learn
Right.
that stuff and get
You know,
to
and
the day of fishing at the same time is
yeah,
pretty cool.
and that's going to prepare you when you go to the front of the boat.
Yeah,
In a year or two, that's going to prepare you for that,
yeah,
and make you a much better angler.
yep.
All that good stuff. So. Phil asks, how still you have to be. I mean, in the back of the boat. I mean, you're gonna. I mean,
I think just normal common sense as far as what you're fishing. Obviously, if you're in a spawning tournament, if you're banging rods and boxes and stuff around all day, they're not going to be real happy with you. Uh,
right?
there's some days you might even want to take your shoes off and fish barefoot,
Yeah.
which a lot of that comes with experience and stuff. But I think taking as little of tackle as you think you can possibly get away with is advantageous. Being able to, they give you one of their boxes in the back of the boat to put all your stuff in, And so taking the least amount of rods that you can get away with, I would suggest 6 or less. But really, most tournaments, you could probably get away with 3 and do quite well. Personally, I take 5 or 6. And just keeping your stuff organized. Don't be the guy that has 5 rods all still hanging over the side of the boat. When he says it's time to go, I want to move to the next spot. You should already be reeling in and sitting down and have your stuff all cleaned up, ready to go.
Yeah.
You don't want to be the guy that's making him wait for 5 minutes while you put all your stuff away. That's not going to
Yeah.
go over well either.
Yeah. Because 5 minutes is 5 minutes, and that's a lot of time in a tournament.
Yeah, you can win and lose the tournament in less than 5 minutes.
Absolutely.
So
Now we got John Brewer. What's up? He joined late, so thanks for
come
joining
on,
us, John. Better late than never. John goes down to Mississippi all the time.
nice.
Fishes down there at Grenada and all them lakes down there.
Yeah, we got a few boys down that way.
Yeah, he lives up here north of here, about 45 minutes, hour from the lake here, but he likes to go down
Yeah.
south a lot and catch
Yeah, I
them
was
big.
trying to get down there, but they drew the lakes down too fast. So Granada and some of them special lakes down there, um, they draw those down big time at winter pool, and you can't even launch a boat for
Right.
3 or 4
Yeah.
months. And unfortunately, the timing of my trip, we missed it by a week. By the time I could have got down there, um, it was no longer accessible. So
Oh wow.
yeah, but I'm gonna get down there.
Cool.
I want to catch a 3-pound crappie.
Heck yeah. I do too. Heck, I just want to catch a 2 pounder. I haven't caught a 2 pounder yet,
Yeah.
so might have to tackle that here one of these days. But
Yeah. Yeah, my son
yeah,
got spoiled. He got a couple on his first big trip with me.
yeah, yeah. Yep, there was a lot of nice fish caught on that trip you did. So, if anybody's got any other questions, feel free to chime in. We've been on about an hour, but
Yeah.
we're going to do a little.
And
Go ahead.
besides, anybody wants to reach out to me, I'm always available on Messenger. You can find me on Facebook, anywhere else. I'm always willing to answer any questions, whether it be fishing, whether it be our products, our scent profiles. I'm always happy to talk with people, so you can reach out anytime.
Yeah, and we got a couple giveaways I want to do right now. I really didn't know how to pick a winner as far as how we're going to pick somebody, but if you ever watch Tin Horse Monty's YouTube channel, uh,
Good stuff.
he's got a podcast every week on his channel, and
Mm-hmm.
he's got a code word he uses, and then his guest will pick a number between 1 and 200, and
Mm-hmm.
then it has everybody pick a number, and I believe you got to get it right on, and you just keep guessing until somebody gets it. But anyway, we're going to kind of go that route tonight. But we're going to Cory picked a number between 1 and 100, and shout out to Tin Horse Monty's YouTube channel. If you guys haven't checked him out, check him out.
Follow it too.
Huh?
It's a great show. I follow
Yeah.
it.
He's
A lot of
got
great guests.
a lot of great content out.
Yeah.
He's knowledgeable. He's got a lot of good guests on there, and then his regular videos.
Yep.
He explains what he's doing, and so shout out to Tin Horse Monty for. I'm going to kind of take this tonight on how to pick my winner. So we're going to go one through 1 to 100. Cory's picked the number, so just comment below your number, and let me show you what we're going to give away. We're going to give away a pack of Mama's Baits crawls right here. And then we got a package of the bugs in watermelon purple.
Nice.
I came on board with Mama's Baits last spring. Great baits made right there in Quincy, Illinois, about 45 minutes from here. Terry Jones owns it. Great guy. So, and Ardent Reels had sent over a Real Care freshwater 3-pack cleaning kit there.
Awesome.
So
Time to
just
do it.
get your real butter, your real clean, and uh, your real butter, real oil, and your regular real butter right there. So and the spray to spray down your reel and wipe it down. So we're going to give away all three of those to a lucky winner. So thanks to Arden Reels for that. And also, if you go to Arden Reels real quick, you can save 25% off of anything on your order, anything on the website. Strike Three Fishing at checkout, save 25% off. So if anybody's got any questions about any of the reels or rods or anything, feel free to contact me on Facebook. I'll be glad to answer any questions for you. So, anyway, without further ado, I need everybody that uh, wants to win this little prize pack, comment a number and
They're getting close.
where they're getting close. So let's see if one guy about had it.
Hmm.
Let's see. Let's go.
And we're gonna
We're
we're
gonna
gonna get
keep.
together and go fishing soon, and I'll bring down a really nice package to give away to some people. We'll do another giveaway when maybe we'll do a quick little live or something while we're fishing, and we'll give away a really nice package.
Absolutely. Oh, we got a winner. We got
Oh,
a winner.
yes, we do.
And just so you know, I wrote it down on this piece of paper here up in the corner. 77. Looks
Nice.
like Gary Gersbinski. What's up, buddy? You're going to win the prize pack of the Arden Reels freshwater reel care kit. A couple packages of Mama's baits, some bugs, and some crawls. So uh, if you want, Gary, message me your address. I'll get them mailed off to you. Or unless you're going to be up this way, you can stop by and get it whenever you're going to be up this way. But I'll be glad to mail them to you. Uh, I might throw them in the mail tomorrow. So whatever you want to do. He just lives around St. Louis, so he's not too far away, and he's got a camper up here anyway. So
Nice. Congrats, Gary.
holler at me, Gary. So uh, well, Cory, I want to thank you for joining me tonight, and
Yeah. Thanks for having me on.
yeah, so
Had a good time, and we'll get together soon and go
yeah,
dump on some.
yeah, we'll go put some crappie in the boat if you want to. So
Sounds
try to
good.
make a nice little video and go from there. But if you guys got any questions for Cory, look him up on Facebook. JB's Fish Sauce, great product. Any questions about fishing the B.A.S.S opens or anything? I'm sure he'd be glad to talk to you about it. So follow
Absolutely.
him. I know you got don't you got Cory Weaver
Cory
Fish
Weaver Outdoors. That's
Outdoors?
where I'm
Okay.
going to start directing most of my fishing content to, just to kind of give some of my family and close friends that don't fish a break. I created a new professional page, Cory Weaver Outdoors. So you can find me there on Facebook. When I have a chance to do some YouTube stuff, I also created a YouTube channel, a TikTok channel. I'll probably do more TikTok than YouTube just because it's quicker and easier. I'm not very good at editing, and I don't have time to learn. So I'm gonna put some stuff on YouTube, but it's not gonna be a full-time channel. It's not gonna be it's not, at least not for a while. Maybe someday my son will get into it and he'll be able to take that over for me. But for now, there is going to be some stuff on there. But most of my activity will be on Cory Weaver Outdoors on Facebook and TikTok, and a little bit on Instagram too. So many platforms now; it's hard to keep up with
Oh,
it.
I know, I know.
I have
I'm
enough
just
time.
digging. I know. I haven't got on the TikTok deal yet, but right now I'm just on YouTube and Instagram and uh, Facebook and all that good stuff. So
Yeah.
anyway, everybody says great show. I want to thank everybody for watching and stay tuned for next week. I don't know who the guest is going to be, but we'll find somebody to join us and talk fishing, crappie, bass, whatever, both. And it's probably going to be next Wednesday night if everything works out. So stay tuned for that, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time next Wednesday. That's the plan. So thanks everybody for watching us. Thanks,
Thank
Cory.
you.
And
Thanks everybody.
We'll see you soon.
Go catch some.